Welcome everyone, John here. Today we're going to talk about planting some garlic. So let's dig in. I have thousands and thousands of ways to plant my garlic this year. I'm going to show you what I got going on. Alright, see if I can't angle this down right. Alright, so beginning of spring, actually I have garlic out there growing right now. It's growing, it won't stop growing, it'll just keep going and going and going. So, after spring gets going, these things, and I don't know if you've seen any of my other videos, I have at least one video of me pulling the bulbils off the top, which are these. And I'll show you all these here in a minute. I actually had an accident pulling all this stuff out earlier, and there's thousands and thousands of starters inside this bin right here. So, what I got here is a bunch of odds and ends after harvesting my heads. Alright, now turns out that keeping them in a black bag, a dark bag works better, which is what I'm going to do over the next couple of months. They're going to be, everything I got is going to go into a black bag. But you can see the difference between the heads, these bigger heads, single heads that I had off the side here. You got white roots on them. They start growing automatically. Now, basically what I do is I'll pull these out weekly, try to, and actually rinse them, put some more water on them. Alright, let me grab my glasses here. Alright, so like this is a head, a broken head right here. It's just falling apart, as you can see, but roots are growing, got the stem growing. This is hardneck garlic. So all the broken pieces went into here, but as you can see, I had all these bigger ones separated out kind of. I mean, that's probably a good 6 inches long already. Wait till you see what I got in the white bag. I'm going to have to switch it over and put it in a dark bag, because you can definitely tell the difference. And these have really just taken off. It's a timing thing. I got other onions and things growing. I think there's somebody outside doing some work or something. Alright, so you can see all that. That's just crazy. Stems are growing. Alright, so this is just a, you know, a bag full of pieces, parts, singles that come up. It's like a single head, round head, single round heads pop up. So yeah, some of these I'm not so sure about. I'll have to check it. I'll have to check them, because there might be different kinds of garlic too. I don't know if you can see this. But these actually have a red sleeve coming up at the base, as these don't. Some do and some don't. See what I'm saying? But it just could be age. Younger ones have them. So yeah, you get down to the bottom. Everything is growing. Everything down there is growing. Now I have to go through these. I'm going to rinse them, pull the husks off of them, clean them up. Now here's a round one. Crazy roots. Alright, I'm going to put this one back and I'm going to show you what I did last night. And you can see the difference between these ones growing in this dark bag and the ones growing in a clear Ziploc. Clear Ziploc. Alright, so last night, let me back out of here a little bit. Ooh. Last night, I pulled this bag out. This bag. And this had pretty much all full heads in it. So, what I did was, they still had the stalks on them, on the inside of them and everything. As you can see, these are starting. But they're nowhere near as big as the ones in the dark bag. Look at how big some of these heads are. They're huge. Like I said, there's probably 1,000 of them out there still that I didn't get pulled. 1,000. There's probably at least 1,000 in the scrap bag. There's probably another 1,000 of these bigger heads in this bag, and these are all good sized heads. There's no small ones really. I mean, there's a few small ones like these, something like that, but compared to that, you can see the difference. There's a bunch of them in there. So yeah, as long as the ground don't freeze, and I don't think it will freeze, I am going to go out over the next month, or I should say a friend of mine with his tiller is going to go out there and till a few areas that are, I do believe, clean areas with nothing growing in them. And then I'll be able to get some of this back in the ground. So, this will grow till about May. These things will grow real long, tall, hard necks on them. Right? And most people have seen wild onion growing. They have pods on the top. They're called pods with what they call bulbils. B-U-L-B-I-L-S. They grow on the top. They're basically seed for garlic. They're not the seed, it's just another way of growing the garlic. I figured that out. I didn't know what it was. But I saved them. I let these things grow up. The neck gets real long, and then it starts having this pointy thing, just like, kind of just like how this starts off, right? Just how this starts off. And we'll have a long, tall point on it. Well, that is the point. It'll grow real tall, probably 3 or 4 foot tall. And then it'll get a head on it. And with the garlic, they're huge. Most of them are all huge. And they have these round little balls of garlic on the top of them, just like the wild onion does. And I know you've seen them, because any kid that's been out in the woods and has seen some wild onion has taken the thing on the top and smashed it, or not smashed it, but let loose the seeds, and they pop everywhere. Every single one of those little things on the top is a brand new wild onion. And I got a lot of wild onion growing out there. I just leave it in the ground. If I want some onion, or we don't have onion, I'll go out there and grab some. Alright. Here's another thing. Now, one thing that we started growing, and this isn't it, one thing that we did start growing was some chives about 6 years ago. These are not chives. These are just green onions. But they got stuck behind something in the fridge. And most people would have just thrown them out. I didn't. I cleaned them off and gave them some water. And as you can see, they're rooting. They have roots on them. So, before too long, these will go in the ground in a little section in the back too. Back by the chives. Yeah, we've had chives growing for years. Literally years. They keep reseeding themselves. They have a flower on them. Pretty cool. Alright, so I'm going to bring my camera over here and show you guys what happened. See if I can show you on. Alright, so there's literally thousands and thousands of seed here. There's so much. So I had a bag, this bag right here, filled to the brim with seed. And this stuff is growing down inside the fold of the bag, growing into it. Yeah, they're all over the place. All okay. Alright, so now I'm gonna have to clean these up anyway. This is just one ball of these bulbs. Alright, so basically I left them in the bag, this clear bag. Hey, let's just take this whole section and set it off the side here. And you can see every single one of these has roots growing off of it. Like a chia pet. Every single one. Crazy. And if you counted these, how many's in my hand? There's probably a good 50, easy. So just think how many thousands are actually in these bundles. I gotta pull them, I'll pull them apart, wash them, rinse them, be real nice to them. Ooh, look, there's a head right there. Another head. Oop, has it going there? See, I'm keeping these separate. I'll end up weeding through the singles, going through them, pulling out all the big ones, stuff that's growing really good, and stick that in one section with all these big heads. I'll mark it off and then find out how it grows. Now I can tell you this now. Alright, so these things, they're usually stuck together. like Fibonacci sequence. You guys, the golden ratio. So when you start pulling them off, and you can see, I could cover the table. Look at the roots. That's crazy. Yeah, I got to get these into a black bag and give them a little more room to grow. But yeah, alright, see, what you see here, and I'll back this up a little bit. There's a whole nother bundle right here. And there's still a whole nother bundle inside the bottom of the tub because the bag broke. And I just want to separate these out. They're not necessarily tangled. You'd think they'd be all tangled together, but they're not. They'll actually separate really easy. I think I should play these guys some music. Like I said, Chia Pet. Every single one is a baby garlic. Let's keep going here. We got more and more and more. Where's an estimator when you need them? Oh, what am I saying? Man. So, what I could do is actually count, weigh out, say, an ounce of these, something like that. Count how many's in the ounce, weigh everything, and then kind of use that as a guide. Wow, is that crazy? Alright, so I'll bring this over here to show you what happened. So yeah, as you can see, I actually got some ginger root down in there. There's my bag. Get rid of that because they're going into a black bag. So yeah, I just threw some water in there, and you can see there's still thousands in there. So let me put this back over here. Scoop out these. So, my young one is right behind me, getting ready to start some online school. Alright, I don't know if you guys know this or not, but ginger root can be grown too. I mean, all you gotta do is buy a piece, watch videos on how to grow it. This is not the proper way to grow it. I eat it quicker than I can grow it. I need a pretty good section, and I'll have to figure that out because I do. I eat a bunch of ginger. Every morning, or every day, I try to. Can't say every day because I don't. I'm actually filtering out some of the water in these ones here. And then I'll get a backup view of everything going on. There's another round one. Throw off the side. Now, I do have some other plants that look similar to these growing. And they have a bulb on them too. Right? And it's kind of hard to tell between the round ones what they are. As you can see, there's just thousands. I mean, every handful is probably a good 500 to 1,000 easy. babies everywhere. Problem I have is not all the time I don't have a way to properly plant all this. I took time, planted a bunch of stuff last year. I was able to probably plant 1,000 plants on top of the ones that I already had growing. We're getting down to the last few ones here. So yeah, I need good sized area to plant this stuff. I might have to go find some place to plant it all. Yep, down to the bottom. There's probably 1,000 in my hand. Yeah, if you count just a little handful, there's like at least 20 right there. So you got thousands. Then you got this. These are all the whole heads that I decided to let grow. Although, alright, so this drink that I make, I still use whole cloves with the roots and all, even if it's growing. It's good for you. And then I still got this too, which is the singles, broken heads, and other bulbils. So yeah, and you can see, look at the difference between the growth in these and the growth in these. There's 3 heads there. And then these are barely growing. Sorry about the framework there. So yeah. So what's really weird, and you can see this in this, these have a ton of roots on them. Bunch of roots. Alright? Not really growing very much on the top, which I kind of like, because they're making the head grow this instead of this, which is something that some people will do. They'll cut the stem, which the plant will concentrate all its power and energy on the bulb itself, which makes it bigger. But if you let them grow to this size, to the size where your head starts growing, you get 20 or 30 of them. You know, you at least get like 10. At least get 10 on a head. That's almost the least that you can get. So yeah, got some planting to do. Need some place to actually plant them too. So anybody got any ideas, let me know. Alright, you guys enjoy. I'm out of here.